And welcome once again to the Movie Stuff Show. My name is Dan, and you know this guy. It's Marty.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, I was saying, right, best laid plans, right? We're going to do an episode today dedicated to movies about taxes, right, where taxes play a role
Yeah.
in the plot or something like that. Because today is technically tax day, but it's really weird, right? Because tax day is usually April 15th.
Yeah.
But April 15th this year falls on a Sunday. So then you'd think that it would default to April 16th, but no, there was a holiday yesterday in Washington. So it got pushed to today. So today is the default tax day. However, the IRS had an issue with their website for paying taxes. So they have extended tax day to tomorrow.
That's surprising in that they didn't just say, well, fuck it. It just broke this day. You had all year. You got to, it's still your fault. You didn't pay it today. you know,
Yeah,
it's even nice that they gave us the 2 days because of the weekend. Good for,
no, okay, listen. Hey, Robert Medley. Let's not get into the logistics of it, but do you typically are you good with taxes in regards to you typically break even, you may owe a little, or you get some back?
I've always said, you experience this too as well. Working in one state, living in other states is always a weird overlay where I wound up, somehow I don't work in my home state, but I always owe them more money.
Yeah,
God bless them.
yeah,
And then, but usually it's only like $100 or less, and then I usually get back some, 500, 600, something, enough to be happy about it, but nothing to change my life.
yeah. Right.
But
Yeah,
also, I'm joining the world of, as you know,
homeowners.
homeowners
So
this
you
week.
get
So
some.
taxes take on a whole new level of
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of my life.
yeah. But mortgage, I mean, so that's a good thing, right? You get some credit with the mortgage and things like that, and then yeah, it's got to pop out a couple of kids. On Saturday, we went to one of Annie's school friends, one of her good friends. The parents are having another kid, so we went to the gender reveal party. You know, they do those things, right? It was actually listen, it was a really fun. I had a
What
really
happened to our generation?
listen.
What happened to
Stop,
us?
stop. I had a good time. It was 80 degrees. It was out in the backyard. It was really good, food and company. So it was a nice time. The point of the story is there was a game where not a game, but I think it's kind of a game where they wanted you to, if it was a boy, suggest names, and if it was a girl, suggest names. And I totally dropped the ball because I should have said deduction number two. Because, because I shit you
It's
not,
it's
I
it's no
shit you not.
worse than it's no worse than Truth Kardashian.
It's very true, very true. Because it's good stuff, man. Those deductions, like I got a second one this year. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with planning my children being born,
Yeah.
because twice I missed out on full year deductions by a couple of days. So I got the benefit of having Vera as my child for this past year, and went to do my taxes. I normally owe. I normally owe money, which I'm fine with. I To me, it's like I don't want to give this loan to the government, right? Because that's what it is. They're getting an interest-free loan if you overpay. If you
Yeah.
get a return, most people are like, "Oh yeah, I got a return,
They think you got
awesome."
something back as
But it's
opposed to
not. You just gave the government money for, like, you could have taken, a fiscally responsible person would have taken that money and invested it, put it in their 401k or something like that, right? No, no, splurge and buy a TV. But since I had the second kid this year, and I had a bunch of medical expenses, and this is the last year that medical expenses aren't capped, um, it turned out well for me. It turned out well for me this year. We'll see. We'll see how next year is. But it's the first year in a while that I haven't owed money to the government, which is, I guess it's a nice feeling that you don't have to
sure.
cut a check or pay them. But I couldn't have paid them anyway because their fucking website's down.
I
Right?
always do the thing, like I said, I always on a Boeing jersey, and even though I usually do my taxes because I'm a one job, nothing return, so I usually do my taxes like February or something. But
Uh-huh.
and regardless what I owe, I'm not sending that check to the day it's due.
Damn straight. Damn. In fact, you mail it out the day that it's due, and,
I
and,
do.
and postmark it. You write the check out. 415.
You're waiting the last day for my $66 jersey. Fuck yourselves.
Oh God. Okay, but we will talk about movies with tax implications, right? I mean,
It's funny because there's a lot of. I just got on a whim, just kind of looked it up, and you forget how movies have just that odd subplot, or that's just a catalyst of why the actual movie happens. It's like, oh, they owe taxes. All right, here's the whole movie.
yeah, and I guess what we'll start doing is I haven't gotten this fancy ranking thing like Abe had. I haven't quite figured that out. I probably could if I had actually time. I've told you my ass has been getting kicked at work lately. I just not been good. I don't even know what day it is. I can't believe it. Today is Tuesday. We actually have a show. Because most days, I think I even texted you this morning. I was like, yeah, Marty, we might have to push it to Thursday. I don't know, man. Might be a Thursday show week, but you got Yankees
Oh,
tickets.
it got us out of watching what is probably not a good movie.
Probably,
Anyways.
probably not. Yeah. Who Yankees play Thursday?
There's someone in cold weather. I forget who that was.
Okay.
Baseball weather. God bless. I went to the second game of the season. It was like 40 and raining. Thursday will probably be 55, and chance of showers. Well,
And the feels like 30 in the stadium.
because that wind tunnel that the bleachers are.
Jeez.
When they came, me and Dan went to Met game this year. One of the first weekend of the season.
This first weekend.
Sunny day. It's crazy that it's actually
Amazing.
sunny and 60 outside. Dan buys the set of tickets that are directly in the shade.
They looked like good tickets. That was a good deal.
It was
a good deal. They were good seats. They looked like a good
deal. The sun just crept towards us and then just stopped 3 rows.
Those are the type of seats that we'll want in July, right? Honestly,
oh yeah,
those are the seats that's just like those. I wouldn't get a good deal of those in July. I bet. So yeah, we'll talk some tax implication movies because yeah, I was so surprised by it. But so I don't have time to do like fancy ranking stuff, so we'll just talk about some and then maybe we'll do a pseudo rank at the end. Maybe we'll just kind of eliminate some and then nominate like a top 3 out of the ones we talk about. I think I already have my number 1. I probably have my top 3. I probably have a top 3 already.
Well, there's one of the main ones has 4 different movies in it. So we actually have to pick one of those movies first and then try and rank it overall.
Okay.
Which is, I guess we can start there with Robin Hood.
Yeah. Okay.
The ultimate tax movie.
Which one?
There you go. Like I was saying, we got the cartoon version with the fox.
It's a good one. I like that.
Might be the best one. There's the classic Kevin Costner one, where he has the horrible accent throughout the movie.
So is Morgan Freeman in that one?
Morgan Freeman is in that one, playing the good one. What do they call him in that one? There was some kind of racist term where dark-faced man in England. So there's Kevin Costner version. There's the Russell Crowe version, which is much maligned, and then of course
which isn't. This is pretty good.
I enjoy. I don't hate that one, but it just didn't work. They were trying to do a whole series with that one, but as most Russell Crowe movies have gone lately, once they try to start something, they give up.
Master and Commander should have gotten more.
Master and Commander, and he was going to be a big part of the Universal's monster universe. He was Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, Robert Mayla. That was going to be my next one. Men in Tights.
And then there you go. Men in Tights is more. It's such a comedic one that it they don't really touch on the taxes part too much.
No,
it's more about
sex.
Sex and Richard Lewis's nose and
his
mole. God bless him.
I have a mole. And then of course the Cary Elway. I'm sorry, the Cary Grant, right? Cary Grant played.
Robin.
So I was saying Cary Elway's, Cary Ooze, if you will, was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I think it's Cary Grant. So there's been a lot of iterations of Robin Hood. I mean, taxes play a role in that.
It's actually probably the most in the Russell Crowe version.
Yeah. You know.
Because that was the king. I guess they can call him tax. They called yeah, it was called taxes right
Now,
back then.
would you consider Braveheart then to be part of
That's
this because there's a sex tax, right? I mean,
there was the
that's
sex
it, right?
tax. There was the that was the main part of it.
It was a
I
huge part
suppose.
of it.
Yeah,
That's what caused it all, right? That's when
that was very
Braveheart went Braveheart.
that was a land grab of a thing too.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's what we talk about. Most of these movies that you don't even think about have a somewhat are based in taxes somehow.
All right, good start. Good start. What you got next?
Well, comedy for this one, and not even one that I saw listed, but I just remembered thinking about it, which was Grumpy Old Men.
Oh, I didn't even know that one.
Yeah,
What's the
you
tax
gotta.
implications in Grumpy Old Men?
The kind of sad subplot is that Jack Lemon's house is being taken over
Hmm.
because he hasn't paid taxes on it in, whatever, 5 to 10 years.
Huh.
And so I don't know if you remember, like the tax guy comes to the house and they boarded it up so he couldn't get in, and then they play all pranks on the tax guy that keeps coming.
Well, yeah, see, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was like the minor fourth plot of the movie, but it was kind of the thing that brought them together somehow.
Oh, okay. All right. Grumpy
But
Old
it's
Men.
a funny thing too, where it's like in movies we always the tax guy's the evil guy who's
Poor
trying to.
tax guy. I mean,
But
come
it's
on.
like you didn't pay your taxes,
It's a
they
fucking
gotta come.
job. And it's a job. People need work. It's literally shooting the messenger there, right?
So they kind of made the tax guy in the movie is this Weasley. I don't be. I'm sure they meant it as Jewish personified.
The Erwin R. Shyster character.
And he's got he's measly and he's banging on the door and being all mean to Jack Lemmon, but if he paid his taxes, he wouldn't have this problem.
That's right. This is no Repo Man. I mean,
And
Repo Men, come on, they get a bad break and pay your fucking bills.
yeah, there's a lot of movies based on that where it's like either we got to raise taxes to save the club, or we got back rent we gotta pay. And like I remember having to go see Rent a few times on Broadway. It's like what, pay your rent.
Guys, you really wouldn't have this problem if you just paid your rent.
Yeah, paid your rent, wearing condom. There's no play.
God, fuck, man, that's brutal. Yeah, brutal. Marty's in full effect. He's not even drinking. He's drinking water.
Get the water going.
No water. So I'm switching it up. This week it's harp.
Ah,
Drinking harp this week. So still Irish, right?
New spring beer is coming out soon. If we ever have spring.
Someday we'll spring. Robert Mann is saying, "Catch Me If You Can." He's evading taxes. He's really
no,
not
actually,
paying
yes,
taxes?
correct. He's right. Yeah, Leonardo's father, the great Christopher Walken, is hasn't paid his taxes in forever, and that's why the government comes to get him. That's why his wife leaves him. His wife's an awful person in that movie. God bless her. And then so that's why the kid goes on a run. I mean, the main movie is about DiCaprio's character, falsifying checks and shit like that. But it all does start from taxes. Yeah.
There you go. What else you got?
Let's see. Back into the comedy realm. Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, one of my favorite ones. Absolutely.
Grandma owed $270,000 to the IRS.
Shooter McGavin buys up her house. Happy goes on tour. The whole plot of the movie is Happy going on PGA Tour to raise money to pay the taxes or to get the house back, right? Yeah. So good. Happy Gilmore is one of those very rare Adam Sandler movies that I thoroughly enjoy and think is a really good movie. It's a very funny movie. It holds up. Like its rewatch value is so high for Happy Gilmore.
That's probably his second one, right?
Was it after Billy Madison?
I think Billy Madison came first.
Yeah.
So we weren't tired of his shtick yet, for one. We weren't tired of seeing all his buddies in his movies at that point.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the second one because where's like Little Nicky fall into that?
No, that was much later.
That was older. Yeah.
I mean, he was in movies already.
Yeah.
But like the Billy Madison production type.
Look at Happy Gilmore's great.
That was really
funny.
peak Sandler, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, because he was in a bunch of shit. Billy Madison was first, and then Happy Gilmore, 95, 96.
Wow. Happy Gilmore, really good.
Right after he did Airheads in 94.
Yeah. Listen, another underrated movie. Airheads is a fun movie.
It's good there for a while. Then came Wedding Singer and Waterboy, Big Daddy, and then Right Off a Cliff. Little
Yeah.
Nicky.
He has his great cameo in Dirty Work.
Dirty Work's underratedly
Dirty Work's
hilarious,
fantastic.
but it's
It's so
awful. But
good.
it's just hilarious.
Oh, it's so good.
Don Rickles just going off on people, and
No real tax implications on that one, right? It's just
they do owe something. They have to get money for
well, to
something in
raise
that.
the for the
It
heart
was for the
transplant. Yeah, yeah.
the
Because
surgery they got
the
to.
surgery, because Chevy Chase, great Chevy Chase role too.
Yeah,
He plays a doctor who likes to gamble, and
yeah.
it's like, wait a minute, you're telling me that you bet against Rocky and Rocky 3? Hindsight is 2020, my friends.
It's Chevy in there, Farley in that. There's a lot of bunch of
Adam
stupid.
Sandler, he plays
Yeah.
he plays the devil with Emmanuel Lewis. It's like, what you talking about, Satan? Um, Artie Lang is
I
fantastic
don't
in it.
remember.
So
Directed by
Bob Saget, right?
Bob Saget. There
Saget
you
do
go.
that one? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was Artie Lang always tells a funny story about how when Rickles comes on set, he's like, he had just come from filming Casino, apparently.
Oh god.
And he's like, he goes from Scorsese to Bob Saget.
Oh my god.
And he just starts ripping on Saget for a good hour.
Jeez. Well, back to Happy Gilmore. I think that's right now. It's in my top 3.
Yeah, because
It's top 3.
it ignites the plot, and it's the whole movie is essentially about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sticking with comedies, the original producers or the remake producers or the play producers, whichever one you want to take. It's about them kind of fixing the books on this show, and that's how they get caught in the end. Because if you make all this money, you got to pay taxes on it, and they stole it all. So I never seen the on Broadway with this one.
I never saw the Broadway one.
Yeah.
Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick was on the Broadway one.
Yeah, and they made a movie version of that as well. Yeah.
I mean the original is so
Yeah.
fucking good. It's ridiculously hilarious. I mean, you got to put on the performance now, right? You have to make Springtime for Hitler now. It's got to happen.
And that's the thing too. It's always with these movies, and we see it in crime movies too. Where you don't get caught for doing the horrible thing you're doing. It's always like, oh, tax fraud.
I guess ties into one of mine that I'll bring up is Untouchables.
Yeah, it's the whole movie,
right?
Really.
I mean, the whole movie is I mean, the real life story is that's how they catch him. Right? That's how Capone goes down.
They got to get the accountant. Yeah. And he winds up doing, I think, what they say, 11 years for tax evasion and dies in jail.
He dies in jail. Syphilis, I think, too, right? He had syphilis or gonorrhea or some shit like that. It was pretty bad. Like, he had some kind of fucking venereal disease that killed him.
Prison's not a fun place.
Yeah, especially when you're Al Capone.
Does that hold up for you, that movie?
Untouchables? Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. I think Sean Connery is really good in it.
It's a little hacky.
You think so?
With the cop talk and anything with fucking what's his name, Andy Garcia, just turns to shit after a while.
It's been a few years since I've seen it, but last time I saw it, I still liked it. I'll give it a rewatch. Listen, I'm definitely open to
it's still great. They're still great, but Costner overacted a little bit.
Who's the director? He's a really good director, right? De Palma. Yeah.
But he's done some hacky shit too.
True, very true. No, I'm a fan of Untouchables. Some great scenes in that, but yeah, I'll give it a rewatch. Maybe throw that on there.
I mean, it's still great, but it's just sometimes you're watching like, oh, Kevin, calm down there. And he was still fairly young at that point too, so maybe.
Okay, so Untouchables.
Or playing an Irishman though, just doesn't.
See, I mean, there's movies where tax play implications and there's tax main plot, right? So Untouchables is a really good movie. But the taxes don't really come in until the end anyway, right? I mean, the whole plot of it is trying to stop Capone.
Become a big, but it's a big part of the end where they have to catch the accountant in that big scene at the movie theater. The classic, redone, parodied scene of all time, maybe. He's there in the courtroom. That's how they, going through the ledger.
Okay.
The ledger was a big part.
Keep that in there. Let's keep that in there. It's a good one. All right. What else? What else you got?
And more of the let's organize. Let's get everybody together, raise some money to save the bar or the whatever fuck thing. There's 2 of them I've got so far. Blues Brothers, of course. And funny, but horrible. But Rock of Ages is the same kind of shit.
Let's not mention that one. Blues Brothers, though, right? We're on a mission from God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really good. That's really good. Blues Brothers. It's a really good one. I think it's hard to argue that that's in the top.
Gotta pay. They had to pay off the orphanage for the or pay the orphanage they were raising owes
Because they owe
taxes.
taxes. Yeah, the orphanage couldn't pay tax, so they were on a mission from God.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Um, it's funny too. Is the uh, the career arc of Dan Aykroyd and how far he fell. Yeah, just I can't remember when we were talking about Paterno. Did we have the whole conversation about like De Niro and his career arc versus Pacino? I can't remember if we had that. We,
Yeah.
we did we did talk about that. Dan Aykroyd, man, what the fuck?
He just kind of gave up. And not gave up, but just a lot of those kind of comedic actors back in the 80s and 90s. Like, all right,
Not
we're
Bill
not gonna
Murray.
can't keep doing it anymore.
Not
Well,
Bill
then,
Murray though.
well, you need to have the talent that Bill Murray has, to be able to go and do serious shit as well and bounce back and forth if you want.
Yeah,
Not everyone had that talent. I think Steve Martin could have done more like that.
probably Steve Martin. Steve Martin probably.
Aykroyd probably wrote one or two bombs. What was that? Oh, that shitty movie he did with Rosie O'Donnell. I think that might have did him in. It was like this weird kinky sex movie too.
No.
I swear to God.
Was he
It wasn't
drinking
like
tequila out of a crystal skull?
they had to like go on. They're two cops and they have to go undercover to
Uh,
on a sex island or some shit.
sounds vaguely familiar. That does sound familiar.
Come on, where is this movie?
Yeah, that does
Yeah,
sound familiar.
Rosie O'Donnell's
Paradise Island?
Paradise Island.
Is
There
that
you
it?
go.
Is that what it is?
That is it. Yeah,
Wow.
that was like a hugely panned movie, and that might have just kind of threw him off the whole
Wow.
fucking thing.
It's hard to argue Blues Brothers though. I think it's definitely in the top.
Let me answer Robert Melee's question there about the accountant, which I actually enjoyed. Ben Affleck's movie came out last year, I think. He is an accountant for real in the movie, and there is scenes where he does either cooks the books or helps uncook the books or talks to other texts, and it's probably my favorite parts of the movie because there are so many other movies that are shoot 'em up, assassin type shit where a guy can just walk into the room and shoot 10 people in the head and walk right out. But there are funny parts where this guy's just breaking. He's like I think he's autistic or something in the movie, and he just can't. He has to fix everything. So when he sees the books are wrong, he like goes nuts and does it. Writes all over the walls like Beautiful Mind style to fix it. And there's a scene where his whole front is an accountant's office, so he has to help these two. This couple that owns a farm and tries to run a little business out of their house and needs to find a way to lie about their taxes to get them off. And he's like, he can't tell him how to do it, but he's like, the old Simpson trip of I'm going to talk while stomping on your foot here, and you answer yes or no twice. He does one of those scenes, and like I said, those are the kind of the funnier parts of the movie, rather than just killing everybody.
Okay, what else you got?
Well, we did the comedic one. Shawshank, actually.
Yes.
A lot of taxes in it.
Very good. That was going to be one of my next ones. Yeah.
Andy Dupree, of course, goes to jail for
Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Dupree? So that's somebody else.
Me, you, and Dupree.
There you go. That might have had some taxes too. I don't think about it. So of course,
probably
he was
Sex Island in that one too. I bet. Rosie O'Donnell on it.
He was an accountant for real, or just a banker.
He was a banker. He was a banker, but in jail he ended up doing taxes for all the guards and the opposing guards and stuff like that. But his main thing was he was cooking the books for the warden in Shawshank. By the way, hashtag synergy. I don't know if you might not even know this. On this channel, we interviewed William Sadler.
Oh yeah,
the actor who was in Shawshank, played one of the prisoners. We talked about Shawshank Redemption, so it was heavily focused in on his role in that. But great interview with him. We talked about because he plays Death in Bill and Ted, so we talked about that. He had a great run in Star Trek, so we talked about that as well. Bill Sadler, great actor, man, super cool guy. He's fantastic in Shawshank too. He's the one with Alexander Dumbass.
And then he goes to wish what's his name fare thee well, and he takes a knife to him.
Oh, Haywood, you've had worse cut shaving.
That's a great. They don't show that as much on TV anymore. They used to be on,
It used to be
TNT
nonstop.
every other
Yeah.
weekend.
You want to know why? Because I petitioned it to be taken off the air because every time it was on, I'd be fucking stuck watching it because it's such a goddamn good movie. It
Well,
is so fucking good.
it's the great scene where the lead, lead officer is on. They're all mopping the tar on the roof and shit, and the main guard is going off about how he inherited whatever $10,000 something,
Yeah.
and he's bitching about having to pay taxes, and he already it's like this is the biggest asshole you ever met. And then that was the whole where Tim. Fuck, how many?
Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins.
Comes up from behind him and gives him the
Andy
old.
Says, "Yeah,
You trust your wife."
you
Scene.
trust your wife," and he was about to have himself an accident.
Probably there was probably an easier way to breach that subject without just
Right.
coming up with it. Do you trust your wife scene? But
Yeah.
that's how then they start organizing softball season around tax season, so all the prison guards can come do his taxes, and
Yeah, a lot of
that's it.
tax
That
stuff in
winds
there.
up being the
And it's
crux of the movie, really.
Right.
Yeah,
It's how he gets out. It's how he escapes. Really. Great. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, that's gonna be right there with Untouchables, I think, as far as the serious movies about
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Shawshank, Touchables, we did. The Firm is kind of about taxes. The Tom Cruise, John Grisham thriller. They work for I think they just work for a law firm that covers securities and stuff for big wealthy people. But I guess it's more of a lawyer movie and crime movie than anything. What else did we have? Untouchables, we did.
You say anything in there?
Yes, say anything.
Say anything, right? Because I mean, that's the whole thing. Is the father gets sent away for tax evasion, and that's how they're able to get together. It's been a while since I've seen say anything.
Yeah,
but I think
I did see that on a few lists online. I was like, oh yeah, say anything.
Yeah. I mean, well, come on, it's just you think of say anything, you just think of the fucking boombox. You think of Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
You don't think of taxes, right? So.
And old time movie, arguably one of the best ever. Gone with the Wind.
Really?
Yeah, the woman owed $300 taxes on the house, and back then that was a lot of money, I suppose.
Yeah, that's like I don't know, $100,000 nowadays. That's a lot of cash.
So, I think that was old. And then there's always like 3 of the Step Up movies. I think were about they're going to close down they're going to close down our dance hall if we don't pay the back taxes and shit like that. So it's always like either you owe the taxes or the back rent or the fucking nonsense like that. And we got to start a whole movie now about that. What a great Saved by the Bell episode. I think they had to save the Max from taxes that he owed back.
He owed back taxes.
And
people
they had to
just pay your taxes. Come on, the Max.
And you don't have,
wasn't that place always booked? Like,
yeah,
wasn't that place like always? It wasn't like they even did some Max After Dark, right? It was like Peach Pit After Dark shit.
Peach Pit After Dark.
The fucking dude probably had so much cash. What was he spending his money on? Magic tricks?
Yeah, that was probably
that's it. Can't pay my
the
taxes.
Kids got together. They got together and had a fucking telethon and saved the Max.
A telethon. a fucking telethon. Oh my god.
That was always a big plot point in the 80s and 90s. Oh, we're gonna have a telethon to save the.
I'm trying to remember. Was UHF about taxes as well? They had to
oh
raise
god.
Money?
Yeah, they had to raise money for that.
But I can't remember if it was for taxes or if it was just expenses or. It might have been. It had to be taxes.
There's the great Simpsons episode where talking about school board shit. I remember the Krabappel and the principal are going back and forth about Skinner going back. Hey, it's more money. Oh, pay the teachers. Oh, yay. More taxes. Boo. There you go. I meant pants. The finger thing means the taxes. There you go. So yeah, it's always. I guess we can start talking about ranking them.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, if I had to do a top 3, I'd probably go Shawshank, Happy Gilmore, Blues Brothers. Top 3, right there. Those are my top 3. Because I mean, frankly, the more that we talked about Shawshank, I was like, yeah, you know what? Taxes really, it's a huge fucking part of the movie. Not the main part. The main part is the dude's in jail for
jail
nothing,
and murder.
but he didn't do it, right? But he does actually commit a crime.
Yeah.
He commits the crime of falsifying taxes. So
Yeah,
in
he
theory,
said it.
he should be in jail.
He had to come. He said it too. He had to go to prison to become a
Become a
crook.
criminal. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So those are my three, I'd say. Happy Gilmore. Great, great.
Yeah. I mean, Happy Gilmore, of course, is funny, and it's almost all. It starts without tax. A lot of these movies start with taxes and it goes somewhere else, but this one kind of was the whole
Starts and
reason.
finishes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can okay with that one. I think I might go Untouchables. That's the third one.
I had Blues Brothers,
Yeah.
Shawshank, and Happy Gilmore in my three.
I just don't think you remember the taxes thing in Blues Brothers as much.
I guess it might get glossed over.
Mm. Because the fact that the Untouchables thing was a true story about how Capone had to go to jail for tax evasion, and we see that so many times in these criminal empire movies, whether it's a drug lord,
Gotta get them
or
somehow, right?
yeah, it's always the taxes. It's like even Scarface essentially is about how he can't hide his money anywhere anymore.
It was Breaking Bad. Like the
Yeah,
whole
Breaking
thesis
Bad.
that one,
Yeah,
is this they get the car wash,
yeah.
and they're actually doing really well in laundering the money there. However, he keeps making too much money, so he just puts it in giant fucking buckets and barrels and buries it.
There's Wolf of Wall Street essentially.
Yeah, yeah. I was
He's
gonna.
got to hide his money in Sweden or whatever
Mhm.
to avoid taxes. There are so many movies about money laundering that are
Yeah.
essentially just about taxes. The whole fucking what the fuck, cocaine. All the cocaine movies you see,
Hmm.
either about
Yeah. Blow and all that.
blow and
Uh,
yeah, they get him. Because he has so much money, has to hide. They're hiding it
mhm.
in fucking the dirt out back, and
Did you see things called American Made? Right, the Tom Cruise one that came out last year, where he's a pilot and he's
yeah, that was kind of based off the
yeah,
cocaine cowboys movies you see.
really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Any movie about what's his name down in Colombia.
Technically, anything about the Revolutionary War, right? I mean,
Yeah,
loosely tied to the whole Boston Tea Party.
taxation without representation.
That's pretty much
That's
it, right?
it's kind of what we're based on. And now
Would you say Star Wars?
no,
Episode
well,
one. I mean, it's more
I mean there
tariffs.
is a lot of
It's
that
more
tariffs in that.
tariffs than because that's what it is, right? It's the Trade Federation,
Yeah, trade federations
and
and
they're just fed up with being taxed and tariffed, right? I mean, if I remember, there's
yeah, I mean
actually there's some political fucking shit going
a
on in
lot
that.
of talking in episode one.
Yeah. So okay, so what do we say? Are we saying then Untouchables, Shawshank, and Happy Gilmore? Are those our
Yeah,
three? We're solidifying those three.
the only list you'll ever see to have those three movies. I'm going to guarantee that one.
But let's see.
Where else you having those three movies?
I'm trying to think if there's connections, right? I mean, because think about this. Kevin Costner is in this, and he's in Robin Hood that we talked about, and then Morgan Freeman's in Shawshank, and he was in Robin Hood.
Oh yeah.
Right. Who can we bring in from Happy Gilmore?
Well, you got Don Rickles, who was also in.
He wasn't in Happy Gilmore though, right?
He was in Casino.
But Don Rickles wasn't in Happy Gilmore.
We got a 7 ways of Kevin Bacon this somehow.
But Don Rickles was not in Happy Gilmore, right?
No,
he was not.
but he's got to be in a movie with someone else who was in that movie though. Well, no, was Farley in Gilmore?
No.
At any point?
No.
He was dead by then.
Yeah, probably.
Because he wasn't Madison. He wasn't Billy Madison. Remember that?
No. I'm trying. Shooter McGavin, the guy who plays Shooter McGavin, has to be because he was in Dirty Work as well, right? He played the bad guy in Dirty Work.
I don't think he was in Untouchables.
Hmm.
Damn it!
Happy Gilmore throwing us off.
Not a lot of connective tissue from the
Adam Sandler.
Happy Madison family, unless you're going straight to SNL.
Yeah, but I think you're right. Untouchables, Shawshank, Happy Gilmore. Oh, all right. What else we got?
We got a couple movies coming up that we got to go see. We got the Avengers coming up in 2 weeks. They did they released a bunch of refresher courses, I suppose, about that today. And then kind of pushing, I love any movie franchise that tells you have to see something in IMAX when knowing that it's more expensive that way. But
are we gonna try to do a primer next week on that, or talk about like
we're gonna have to do something.
Everything leading up to it.
Yeah,
because we talked about a bunch of these movies already. Like I don't know.
We reviewed the last 5 at least. So,
Yeah, we've talked about a bunch, so I don't know. I don't know if we need to do a primer or maybe spend some next week, kind of.
Yeah, just 5 or something. Not crazy.
For it. Yeah, so that comes out. I saw the dude from Night Court died, right?
Harry Anderson.
Yeah.
65. I think they said it was a heart attack, probably.
Yeah, he really hadn't done anything, right? John Larroquette was the one that kind of survived all that, right, and had a career after that.
I loved Night Court, though.
Night Court, fun show. Fun show. Watched it a lot when I was a kid. Because we were pretty young when that was on, right? That was what, 87, 88?
Late 80s, early 90s, I'm going to say.
Yeah, so we're pretty young. I remember watching Night Court. It was a fun show. Like Bull.
Right? Bull
was the...
I hope he's still around to be Paul Bearer.
He should be a Paul Bearer. He can be single-handed.
Yeah, just carry the whole thing. Him and Roz. And then other death, the guy from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, Arlie Ermy. Yeah.
Arlie Ermy.
Yeah, that's sad. So I tried to get him on the show. I want to talk Full Metal Jacket with him. Never could arrange it.
He was. I actually read today. He was not even. He was brought on as an advisor for that movie.
Mm-hmm. And they just loved him.
Yeah. And when you think back to that scene, there's no other way you can do it without having the real guy do it, because no one else would be able to get those lines out, and no other actor would be so scared that they just sit there. If it wasn't the real guy, you would just crack up laughing at all the shit he was saying.
Yeah. 2 other Arlie Ermy roles that I actually really enjoy. Seven. He's great in Seven. It's like, this isn't even my desk. Phone. And it's a stupid movie. It's such a stupid movie, but I really like him in it. Is Saving Silverman. Yeah.
He's the coach.
He's coach. Yeah, he's the coach of Saving Silverman. Very, very stupid movie, but I love him in it. He's really good.
That's not a horrible movie. I can't lie.
You don't think so?
I actually can enjoy that one. It's stupid, of course, but I actually can enjoy that movie without
Who's the other guy that's with Jack Black? Who's the other actor that's
Jack
with him?
Black, the guy from American Pie.
And he's the main guy that they're trying to save.
He's
Silverman.
And the blonde kid.
Who is that guy? Can't remember.
He's the bass player from That Thing You Do. I'll give you that. He's been in a bunch of shit too.
I'm trying to remember who that is. And then Amanda Peet, right? She plays. She's great in Brockmire.
She has not really changed at all.
No,
must say
she looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I like. I really like. She did string movies where you just disliked her. Like I think I disliked the actress because she was so good at being bad.
Steve Zahn.
Yeah,
there you go.
Steve Zahn. Yeah, that's who I thought. Yeah.
And he just kind of became that character in real life for a while, Army, and just profited off that with stupid reality shows, whatever, or commercials, and hey, God bless him, made a few dollars.
Passed away. Sad to see him go. No trailers or anything. Nothing really.
They've been leaking a little more about Solo. We talked about it a little last week, and I forgot to mention. Did you notice the reveal they had in the first big trailer they put out?
No.
They revealed how old Chewbacca is.
Oh.
He meets Solo in this movie at 190 years old.
Oh. Okay.
So he's somewhere around 250, I suppose, around right now. He still looks good.
Is that young for a Wookiee?
I'd imagine.
What's the average age of a Wookiee?
Well, I guess we'll find that out. But they're trying to. The more and more I'm seeing about this, it seems like a buddy comedy between Han and Chewie, which could work because Chewie's always funny.
Are there female Wookiees? There are female Wookiees, right?
There is, because they show him. They show Chewie with some, unless they're gay, but they show him. They show him with another Wookiee. Yeah.
So it's not just like Wookiees plowing
No.
Ewoks, right?
Oh, that's an image.
It's like a
Go
fucking
to sleep with that one tonight, guys.
it's like a Rottweiler and a fucking poodle, right? I mean,
Uh,
yeah. So that's kind of class that we have on the movies and stuff show, right? Yeah. What's the other thing too? Box office stuff. What was going on in box office? What was the weekend like? Rampage, right? Did
yeah,
Rampage? Rampage win
Yep.
on a Rampage?
With
It did
his
pretty well.
second, The Rock's second #1 movie of the year, and it's yeah,
This
got
fucking guy sold his soul to the devil. There's no
yeah,
fucking other way. Like,
and everyone loves
shit,
him.
you not. Shit, you not. This guy, fucking Rampage. It's based off a fucking video game where the fucking little characters are pixelated, covering up their private parts. I went on a rant today, and like, it makes no fucking sense. When he's a giant lizard, where's his cock? No, but when he fucking shrinks down, he's gonna fucking cover himself. It makes no sense.
Also, it's not the cultural movie, of course, that Get Out was, but this Quiet Place movie
That's looking good.
is already made $100 million. It's going to be another one of these horror movies that came out that we didn't bother to go see because we didn't go see Get Out when it first came out either.
I think we have to rewind the show. Robert Melee saying Wookiees playing Ewoks. You can sign off now. You won't top that. It's a fair point. I might not top that all year.
Oh, God bless.
I think that's going to be my.
Why would you try?
Thank you for watching the Movie Stuff Show. Wookiees playing Ewoks. Good night. It's going to be my what would you call that? My signing off phrase, right?
Yeah, your signature.
Signature. Yeah. It's like Michael K says, "See ya." I say, "Wookiees playing Ewoks." Yeah, and do it in the same passion as Michael K. Yeah.
That'd be a good home run call.
And it's high, and it's far, and it's a Wookiee plowing an Ewok. No, I don't know. I don't think it's got a good ring to it. I think the Mets are being plowed by the Nationals right now. That meltdown of the bullpen. Yeah,
that's always got to come back to life. They go too high on borrowed wings there.
But that's good, right? You start off really hot, and you know the inevitable is going to happen, and you ride that hot streak to like a couple games over 500 at the All-Star after the near the trade deadline, and then you make a trade, and that's how you win it. That's what they did in 2015. Remember that hot start they had in 2015? Yep. They just cooled the fuck down.
Didn't pull the trigger.
And then they traded for Cespedes.
They
got Cespedes in 2015. That's what catapulted them into the World Series. So that's what's going to happen this year. They're just going to start off hot. They're going to cool down. They're going to stay in it, and then they're going to make a trade. And the Nationals are going to national, right? I mean, it doesn't matter who their manager is. I mean, I felt better with Dusty Baker as their manager because you knew that they were going to melt down inevitably with Dusty Baker as their manager. Honestly,
we give you a little bit of everything here on the Movies and Stuff show.
Baseball's looking good. Basketball's going on.
Now. Playoffs right now. We'll turn that on when we're done.
Yeah, I saw the Celtics were up by like 10 last time I saw. Interesting storyline with that is what happens to the Cavs. I'm hoping they're out in the first round.
That'd be hilarious.
It would be.
It would shake up the league again because he'd go somewhere again.
Well, he's going to go somewhere anyway, right? You think he's sticking around? I don't think so.
No, especially not if they lose like this.
No.
But it happens every fucking year.
It is. They'll make the
LeBron lose one game, and it's always on a game where there's somehow a 3-day break in between, so they have 3 days to go fucking ape shit over it, and then they go on a 16-0 run, and it's fucking over.
Yeah. So.
All right, it's a short show tonight. I thought
listen, we've got 45 minutes in. That's good enough, right? For a list show about fucking taxes.
There.
I mean,
You still got a day. Get out there, pay your taxes.
You still got it. Yep, pay taxes.
Don't want to have us have a telethon for you, or have a dance off to try and raise money to get you back in your house.
We will do both, depending on who you are, right?
But as you see our numbers, we wouldn't get many calls.
No, and we can't actually raise funds anymore on the show. They stripped our monetization because
we had gotten too big.
Rules. Listen, they don't want to pay us the millions anymore, man.
Saw them make you suffer martyr numbers and these big spike in Thor views, and we're gonna shut these guys.
We're gonna shut these guys down. Yeah. Well, I mean, they literally have shut us down. What, 3 times?
3 different times.
We've been hit 3 times with copyright things. So we'll see. But hey, listen, we start our time. Start at 9 p.m. Eastern. Uh, we'll be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have a show slated, right? It was
Yeah.
going to be like a Netflix one or something.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try to watch that. We
There you
will.
go.
I'll make a concerted effort to watch that. There's so much TV. I'm so backed up on TV right now.
It's getting
There's
ridiculous.
too much TV.
I've seen shows now where they're actors doing 2 different shows, and I lose track. Like there's a Russian on the Americans that's in a Russian on another show. It's like, all right, you know what?
Like I want to watch that show Greed on
I
FX.
I saw 2 episodes. I couldn't keep going with it. It was like,
Yeah.
ugh,
Okay.
it was just boring me.
Okay. Okay. Knowing that, I might just not watch it.
Yeah,
I have like 4 episodes DVR'd, and it's like there's like
and they're like
5
an hour
hour,
20. They're an hour
20.
20-minute episodes too. It's like,
I
calm
don't know.
down.
Maybe I'll just not watch it. I haven't been super interested in watching it. It seemed like it was gonna be good. Brendan Fraser, all fat and puffy.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
All right, kids.
Yeah, all right. Lots of TV shows actually starting next week too. Archer
Yep.
starts up again. Brockmire starts up again. Watch Brockmire. All right. Close out another episode of the Movie Stuff Show. Please like this video, subscribe to us, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Movie Stuff Show. Marty put videos somewhere. Like that, he'll be able to dig up the Shawshank one. That was a super old one, but go find it. It's in our archives. Yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday, more than likely, 9 p.m. Eastern. Pour one out for Arlie Ermy. Good night, everyone. Wookiees playing Ewoks.